There's literally so much noise happening right now. I'm just waiting. I've been standing here for a minute, waiting. Hello Disney family and welcome back to my channel. So I'd first like to wish you all a May the 4th be with you. I know I did this last year and I did an autograph book. If you did not see my video from last year, which most of you probably didn't because it was a year ago, I will link that above. So today's video I've actually had written out for, months. I've for a really long time. And it's things I miss that Disney used to have and no longer has. So basically, it's a Flashback Friday. Let us begin. Okay, so something that I miss that I think about often and I realize there's not a need for it, plus to be more environmentally friendly and my credit cards are very popular, plus magic bands, are Disney dollars. Now if you don't know what Disney dollars are, they were a basically currency created by the Disney company that you could use at Disney stores, any of the parks, basically anywhere on any of the properties at Disney. And they had, of course, the Fab Five gracing the presence in the front of these dollars. And it was just, they were really fun, they sparkled, they were great. I don't know if you guys remember them, but I miss them, I think about them a lot. I have just the holder. You guys, I went and just found the holder for the Disney dollars. So they came in this, I actually found it, go me, and it's a currency with character, and then you could see the little character in the front. Now of course I spent the dollars, so I don't have them anymore, and they don't sell them anymore, so I don't have any Disney dollars. I think my mom does actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, they were really great. They were super fun, and I used to get them just before we would go on a vacation. My parents would give them to us, and it was just a really fun way to spend money. And I realized they have gift cards and whatnot, but this was actually a really cool thing that the Walt Disney Company did. The next thing I missed, and I'm pretty sure everybody could attest to this, is the no expiration date on the Disney tickets. Now you know you have to use them within 14 days of purchase. But they used to not expire. Disney tickets used to never expire, and you could basically use one year and then you could use the ticket again next year. And what my parents actually used to do was buy the 7-day park hopper. Okay, so this is ready for like the ultimate money saving tip that my parents used to do and you can no longer do. So what my parents would do was buy a 7-day park hopper the 1 year. And so we would do either 3 days or 4 days in the park 1 year, and then the next year we would do like 4 days in the park, and then the year after that 3 days in the park. But the thing about it was you could buy the park hopper ticket, and then you could, for the first 14 days, go to the water parks for free. So we would spend tons of time at Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, and we would go to the parks 3 times. And then the next year, they would just upgrade the 4-day or whatever ticket and make it another 7-day ticket. And then of course, we would get the 14 days of being able to use the ticket to go to the water parks. So my parents really have this down to an art on how to save money. We also stayed at the campground, so I have really fond memories of Fort Wilderness and staying at the campground. And so we would just, you know, they didn't have the best pool at the time. I think Fort Wilderness has since changed their pool. I haven't been there since they've changed their pool, but I'm pretty sure they updated it to make it similar to the other pools where they all have like fun things at the pools to do. But anyway, that's what we used to do. So we'd buy the 7-day ticket, 7-day park hopper, get into the water parks for free for the first 14 days. And then they would just keep renewing it every year so that we could keep going back to the water parks for free. Also, we used to stay at Fort Wilderness, like I just said, and they used to let you go into river country for free when you stayed there. I don't remember like the exact details of this. If I do, I will try and like put it in some text next to it. But we used to get like 1 or 2 days at river country for free. And so we would go to river country all the time because we always stayed at Fort Wilderness, and I had been going since before I was born. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but really, my mom went the last week of March, first week of April, before I was born. I was born May 20th. Yes, my birthday's coming up. My birthday's May 20th. But, so my mom went like the 2 weeks before. So that was like a month, and it was like 6 weeks before I was born. And then we went again at the same time every year. So we went the same time every year. We always went at Easter. But We always stayed at Fort Wilderness. We stayed in the campground, in campers, RVs, tents, the whole shebang. My parents usually stayed in the RV, and then my parents had 4 kids, so we would all stay in like different tents kind of up around the Fort Wilderness campground, and we had family friends that came, and my parents always let us bring a friend with us, so we would just stay in the tents. And this was with 4 air mattresses, so we were just like sleeping on the ground. So another thing I miss is the Delta Dream Flight, and it was initially done by Delta, and then it was called like Dream Flight or something after that. It's where Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin is, and it's on that same kind of track, but it was really cool, and it was about airplanes, and I loved it. I loved the old Tomorrowland, which is probably why Carousel of Progress and People Mover are like 2 of my favorite attractions, because they're 2 of the original attractions that are still there. Another thing I missed, this is Epcot, is Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I don't know about you, but I had such a fun time. I loved that attraction and just all the movement, and it was great. And I realize it's dated because people are like, Honey, I Shrunk the what? We don't even know what Honey, I Shrunk the anything is, but I loved I think it was a trilogy. I think there were like 3. See, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Shrunk the Baby, and then there was like Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. And I loved that trilogy. I watched it all the time. I love Rick Moranis. I think he's so funny. He actually lives like in California. I don't know, I feel like he has kind of a tragic story. I think his wife or something. I'm not sure his tragic story, but he quit the business. He was so great, and he was in so many Disney movies. So I love the Honey, I Shrunk the Everything. And so I loved that attraction. And now I think it's been replaced by, well, it was replaced by Captain EO. Captain EO came back, and now it's like Pixar Fest. That's where it was, right next to Imagination. That's where it used to be in Epcot. The original Club Cool, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it used to snow. So it was such a great place to go when it was really hot out in Florida, and you would go in and it was snowing inside, and then you would come out and you'd get to test all the drinks. And they made that into like a more permanent establishment, but I miss the snowing part of Club Cool. Now, people may fight me on this, but fight me, I don't care. Dixie Landings. I loved Dixie Landings. When we didn't stay at Fort Wilderness, we stayed at Dixie Landings, and I miss it. And it was cool, and it was, I miss it. And that has a lot to do with nostalgia, and I think it's either French Quarter or Riverside. I'm not sure. They redid the hotel, and now it's been replaced, but it was so fun. And it's got the same vibe, same feel, but they just like reimagined it. But I miss Dixie Landings. Catastrophe Canyon. The fact that they took this out is a catastrophe. It was so much fun. I loved the fire. I loved when you go into the back lot and you could see all the different costuming, and when they used to have movie sets, because you know Hollywood Studios was supposed to be a movie studio that never was. But I missed the backlot tour, and I loved Catastrophe Canyon, and I loved when the tram would shake and then the fire would come out and then the water would go and you might get a little wet. I miss Catastrophe Canyon. The old cabins at Fort Wilderness, they changed them all, and I realized they needed to be updated and blah blah blah. But I actually think the layout of the older cabins was better than the new cabins, which I feel like the new cabins, they just look smaller to me, and maybe they're not, but it used to have like full-size appliances, and I feel like they got rid of a lot of those full-size appliances. Now correct me if I'm wrong, maybe they do have full-size appliances and I just missed it, but I didn't see like an oven or a range. I feel like it's not there anymore. But I miss the old cabins because I used to stay at the old cabins when we weren't staying at the campground. Another ride that I miss is Horizons. I just liked the old Disney. I know this probably is nostalgia, and I think a lot of you can attest to this kind of nostalgia, and I know that the new stuff is really cool. They do all this amazing technological stuff to make things like groundbreaking and the first and whatever, but I miss kind of the old rides, and I miss a lot of the narration and just the way that they moved and how they showed how things were happening and changing. So it's probably why I love Spaceship Earth because I really like those kind of dark, slow moving rides. I think that they were really great and I miss them. I hope you guys enjoyed the first version of this Things That I Miss at Disney. I miss so many things. I tried to pick and choose which stuff I miss. If you liked this video and you want to see another one like this of more things that I miss, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you guys enjoyed this video and that you want to see more like this. And also, I would love to know the things that you miss. What do you wish they still had? And what do you wish was still there? I would love to know, and I probably agree with you because I have a hard time with change. I know it's so important for Disney to change and evolve and make stuff happen, make things relevant, but it doesn't mean that I am not sad about the things that they take away. And if you've not joined my Disney family, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you've already joined my Disney family and you want to know when I'm creating new videos and new content, make sure to hit that bell because that will tell you the next time another video comes up. And as always, I hope to make your trip just a little more magical. See you guys real soon. Bye.